So after Ukraine was invaded by Russia, we decided to pull Canadians on the idea of Canada increasing production of oil and gas and exporting it so that the world could reduce how much it's buying from Putin's Russia and buy more from Canada. And 78% of Canadians agreed with that idea. I think people are more and more every day, they're understanding how Putin is paying for his invasion. He sells oil and gas to the West, and then he takes those dollars and he buys tanks and rockets, and then he's invaded Ukraine with it. So I think people are understanding that connection. That if we're going to, sort of pull out the power cord that is keeping Putin's war machine going, one way to do it is to stop buying oil and gas from him. And like I say, 78% of Canadians support the idea of us producing and exporting more. And it's important to note that there's a huge, large majority like that right across the country, all age groups, men and women. It's something that Canadians, I think, really support. And another option that we pulled Canadians on was, okay, well, what if we produce more oil and gas, but we took the government's corporate tax revenue and royalty revenue from these new projects and used it to reduce emissions? And, we thought, well, maybe this is one way that some elected officials might be more warm to this idea because they're trying to figure out this green component. Whether people like it or not, a guy like Justin Trudeau is very much focused on climate change. So we thought, well, maybe this is an alternative that might help out, is to make this a concession that, okay, well, you take the money from these new projects and use it to fund emissions reduction activities. And that actually pulled a little bit lower than the first one. It was about 68% of Canadians agreed with that idea. But nonetheless, I think those are two policy options that make sense. If we're trying to figure out how we can pull the plug on Putin's war machine, a big answer, or a big part of that answer, is Canada's natural resources. And then at the same time, it I think recognizes the fact that if we keep our resources in the ground, some other country is just going to produce more. So we're not really helping the environment. All we're doing as a country is missing out on economic activity. So those are a couple of the questions that we put to Canadians to see where they stand.